What's happening, everyone? I'm Kieran for WrestleIn.com, and I'm in disbelief at the man who's joining me at the moment. He's one of the greatest tag team wrestlers of all time. He's a record-breaking, history-making, 7-time IWGP Tag Team Champion. He's a founding member of Bullet Club. He's one half of Gorillas of Destiny, the one and only Tama Tonga himself. Tama, thanks for joining me for a drink at the inn.
What's up, Kieran, man? I say that right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Good to be here, man. Thanks for having me. What's cracking?
So I wanted to start with your return to Japan in late 2020. Obviously, you missed almost 9 months because of the pandemic. And then you came back for World Tag League, and you and Tangaloa just seemed reinvigorated and refreshed and better than ever. There was like an extra bang and spark to everything you were doing. Was that on purpose? Did you come back with the ambition of re-cementing yourself and putting a little bit of extra flair on everything?
Absolutely. There was a lot of time home, a lot of time to think about the situation, think about ourselves, kind of like hone in on our tag team, fix the errors that we were doing in the past. And there was a fire, there's a fire lit under you, and you notice when you've been off work for a while, you got to come back swinging,
So obviously you come back for World Tag League and you won it for the first time. And then you go on to Wrestle Kingdom and you beat Dangerous Tekkers to win the tag titles for the 7th time. I'm sure you and Tangaloa always knew you were the greatest, but what's it like having the facts to now back that up?
Yeah, you're in the books now. You're part of history. You're part of New Japan history, and it's nice knowing that you have a place here.
So during that Wrestle Kingdom match, you busted out the Faces of Fear powerbomb, obviously in homage to your father Haku. Was that something you always had in your back pocket and was just waiting for the right moment to unleash?
Yeah, we've actually used it before. We used it a long time ago against the Briscoe brothers, back when my brother and I first formed, probably in 2016, and we kept it. There wasn't a lot of guys here that we were waiting for that moment, because it's such a beautiful move. It's such a solid, beautiful, strong move that we were hoping to use it at Wrestle Kingdom, and we were waiting for the right time to bring that out.
Hell yeah, man. It was bloody awesome. And obviously you beat Dangerous Tekkers for the titles, and then in the build up to the rematch, you were just absolutely making a mockery of Taichi. Stole the iron fingers, and he thinks he's got it, and he's pulling out a roll of toilet paper or a chicken. Like, how did you come up with that idea? Were you just walking around a supermarket in Japan thinking, I can get this to fuck with Taichi? What happened there?
After I took it at Wrestle Kingdom, I was just sitting in my room and at the hotel room, and I had put it on my bed, and I saw it laying on the pillow, and I was like, wouldn't that be funny if I put out a picture of it sleeping with a teddy bear? And it just kind of stemmed from there, and I put some life into Iron Fingers, and I took it home, and I put it on the airplane and on the seat next to me, and riding first class, and it just kind of it grew from there, and it just kept ideas kept popping up, and I saw that he had tweeted out, give me back my Iron Fingers, and I that's where I was like, okay, I'll give you Iron Fingers, but I wouldn't bring it to the ring. I'd bring it in something else, and that's how that grew.
So as I said, you're now indisputably the greatest tag team in New Japan history. Where do you go from here? Is it further establishing yourself as the greatest tag team, or is your focus going to turn to singles action, because you've had such a core focus on tag team for a good few years now?
Yeah, that the focus was on tag team, right? I asked to be taken out of the G1 to purely put my focus on being a tag team, to elevate that. And I think we've accomplished what we've set out to accomplish. There's nothing else that I don't see in this division anymore, at least, for now, at least. And I'd like to see what I can do now as a singles competitor. Will that happen? I hope. I want it to.
You've had such a long and healthy, prosperous career within New Japan. You've accomplished so much over so long, starting from the Dojo Gun excursion to now. Is there any particular moments or matches that really stick out as personal highlights for you across all those years?
Just a few, but mostly in a tag team realm. Because we saw ourselves grow in this as a team. Matches that I had, especially at the very beginning against Makabe and Honma. And then there was one we had with Ishii and Yoshihashi at the beginning. There's certain guys that we were able to adjust to, just adjusting to their style. I could see us learning and growing as a team. So it was more of the whole, just a process. I look at it as a whole. I can't pinpoint a single match, but every match I could see us just growing and learning and adjusting and to everybody's style and flavor, I guess you would say.
So you mentioned there, Makabe and Honma and Yoshihashi and Ishii. Joel from the Super J Cast actually gave me a question, and he wanted to know which tag team opponents over the years have earned your respect.
Which tag team?
Yeah.
You said?
Yeah. None.
Yeah. As of all of them, I would have to say, because they all brought their own style, and I can't, because there isn't that many teams that are dedicated here in New Japan like my brother and I. Like, we are a tag team. You don't think of us as an individual. Like everybody else you see as an individual that are taken and put together. Finjuice and it has been a team that was been put together. They kind of started to become a team, but nothing solid yet. As where everybody can see them as a team instead of an individual, right? Man, I'm trying to think. Through the years, like the Briscoe brothers was a team that I enjoyed, our rivalry, and I could definitely see some more out of them, because we battled here in Japan, we battled out there on their turf in ROH, and we've always brought out the best in each other. That was fun. I'm starting to see I can see something here with Dangerous Techers. I can see a nice chemistry happening here, and maybe we can see some more here with the rematches coming up here. So it's hard to tell right now, man. But I would say Briscoe brothers for sure is on the top of my head.
No, absolutely. That was you've had so many great matches with them. I can pinpoint one particular that's the best. They're all so good. Obviously, you're a founding member of Bullet Club, and you're very outspoken about everything Bullet Club related. You're outspoken about everything in general. Over the years, there's been so many different variations of Bullet Club, and there's been so many big moments for Bullet Club. What do you think have been Bullet Club's highs and lows over the years?
The highs was probably, at the very beginning, because we were all just throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. And I think that was fun part of being creative at the very beginning, with Prince David, and then switch over to AJ Styles, the height that we were at. And then even, I'll even say the transformation from Styles to Omega, that change and the things that came out of that time, that was definitely a high and kind of like peaked. And now I would probably, right now, I wouldn't say the lowest. I don't know if any of it is low or lowest, but we're definitely at a place where I am familiar with, because I feel like we're throwing shit at the wall again to see what we can do. It's a momentum change. We just grabbed the Evil. We saw what Jay is happening. We don't know what's happening next year. We got ELP. There's talents here that we've got that are very, they're superstars. That there's something there, and we're trying to figure out how to plug that in to get, to go back up. And I think that's the fun part, is figuring that out again and getting that, and we figured out each other's jigsaw puzzle to put together to rise, to push up again. So that's the fun part. That's, to me, is something I feel I can show these guys. I've been there before. I've done it with different variations of Bullet Club, and we got these new heads, and that's the fun part, is doing it again.
You mentioned.
I hope that answered your question. I kind of went into a little rant there.
You mentioned a good few members of Bullet Club there, the current Bullet Club members, and you've had so many different members over the years. Was there ever any names mentioned as possibly joining Bullet Club, or anyone that almost did join but then didn't for whatever reason?
Yeah, there's always names that we talk about. There's a lot. There's guys that we talk that we see if we can fit them in, but it just either our scheduling or their scheduling or the circumstances, the timing just isn't right. There's too many to drop here. We're always thinking to grow, to make moves, always recruiting, always.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Like, who would you bring into Bullet Club right now, like from within New Japan or outside of New Japan? Is there any particular name?
Oh, right now, probably nobody. The doors is closed right now because we are stacked. We got too many guys in here right now. We are solid with who we have. We just brought in Evil that we stole from already, like a depleted LIJ. So it's I'd say the doors right now is closed for the moment, but it doesn't mean we're not looking. We're not always watching, so nobody right now, but you never know. The thing is, kid, we might get an itch and grab somebody. We'll see.
So, earlier in the year after Wrestle Kingdom, we as fans were terrified that Jay White might actually be leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. It was, the rumors everywhere, internet was going crazy. Whilst we were all losing our minds that he might leave, was you just sitting back, relaxed, because you knew he wasn't going anywhere?
Man, I always sit back and relax. That's not a change. I don't sweat about the small stuff, and I don't. That's none of my business. That's his business. If he goes, and it's just like everybody else that's left us before. We'll just regroup and keep on moving.
So, you've made your feelings very clear on the ex-Bullet Club members or the Bootleg Club, the guys in America. Are you hoping that you'll actually be able to, something will come of it and that you'll be able to step in a ring with them, whether it's, the Good Brothers or Kenny Omega?
Yeah, that's the whole point of all that. That's the deal. That's the deal, to punch them in the face. That's where I'm trying to head with this, is to kick their ass and move forward with that. But we'll see. Do they really want that? I don't know, because nobody's all this chirping I'm doing and nobody really answering back.
So fans are on top of that. Fans are clamoring for you and Tangaloa to appear in America, whether it's on Impact to confront the Good Brothers or it's on AEW to confront Kenny Omega or FTR. If you were in charge, what would happen? Would you be rocking up to AEW? Would you want them to show up on New Japan Strong or get on a plane to Japan?
I don't know. But different scenarios. I'd rather them we could show up on their platform. We did them the favor before, they can do us the favor.
That's fair. That makes sense. Another person I wanted to get your thoughts on, he's just left WWE. He's got New Japan ties. You wrestled him a number of times in CMLL when you was on excursion with your leopard trunks still. Andrade, of course, La Sombra. Are you hoping, what are your thoughts on Andrade? Do you hope he'll come back to New Japan?
I think he'll end up in New Japan wherever he's at. Because he's just one of those talents that very talented and he's had ties with us before. So I think wherever he goes, he'll, as long as he has this open contract to work anywhere, he'll be in New Japan someday for sure.
No, that'd be great. So rather than on top of Andrade, rather than the usual question of which wrestlers do you want to face, who do you think, what wrestlers or teams would you like to see come to New Japan? Who do you think would be a good fit in New Japan?
Oh shit. I think those Lucha Brothers are pretty good. I think they're solid performers, solid talent, solid wrestlers. Who else is out there? I think, huh?
You're constantly after FTR.
FTR, yeah, they're good hand. They can come over here and job. Who else? Who else can come over here and job? The Good Brothers can come out here and job too. Who else? They all can come over here and job. Anybody's good, man. It'll be a good fit here in Japan as long as they come over here and job.
So, just a few days ago, I know you spoke about on your podcast, Tama's Island, which you can download anywhere you listen to podcasts. Will Ospreay, of course, won the New Japan Cup, and he, after the match, he laid out B. Priestley with cutter, and it's got a lot of controversy.
That shit was beautiful, wasn't it? Damn, almost took off her head.
That's what I was going to ask. What are your thoughts on his actions post match?
Oh, that's a dickhead move. What an evil son of a bitch, isn't he? I like where Will Ospreay is going with this, man. But I'll tell you what, his boys better watch out, because if he does that to his girlfriend, you can see what he'll do to them. That's for sure.
Obviously, Will Ospreay's United Empire as well have announced they're going to have a new member, and on Twitter, you just seem to love messing with fans. Like, you've got ACH, you've dropped La Sombra, you're constantly calling out the Good Brothers, Kenny Omega, everyone's fair game, no one's off limits. Do you just get a kick out of messing with the fans on social media?
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't mess with fans.
No?
What are you talking about?
All right, fair enough. So for New Japan, the forbidden door has been through New Japan Strong, mainly for New Japan. And you've had your fair share of matches on Strong as well. What do you think of Strong in general? Because obviously it's very new for New Japan to have weekly episodic television. It's not something they've really done before.
Oh, it's a good step. You need that as a good stepping stone in America. You need something going on over there constantly to keep our presence in with the American fans.
So one man making his mark on New Japan Strong is, of course, your brother Hikuleo. He's going to be in the New Japan Cup USA. He was over on excursion in London. I see him wrestle a number of times. He's a giant. Like, I felt like I got a picture of him and I felt like a baby next to him. It's ridiculous. Do you think he's going to be a big player once he, finishes up in Strong and he gets back to Japan?
Yes, I think he has a very high opportunity with his size, his look. Guys like that is rare among us. So I think he has a better opportunity than most.
So I mentioned it off air, Royal Quest weekend in London. The night before, you turned up at Rev Pro to confront Aussie Open. And the crowd went absolutely ballistic. It was just back and forth chants of G.o.D versus Aussie Open for like a solid 5-10 minutes. What was that reaction like for you? Were you expecting it as you come out? Because obviously you wasn't announced. You just showed up out of the blue and we all lost our minds.
I expected nothing less. Come on now, man. God is over in the UK.
So in 2019, New Japan obviously ran Madison Square Gardens. There was the whole load of crap with Enzo and Cass that you've spoken about before, I know. But backstage, you absolutely threw the crap out of the ROH tag title at the wall. Nobody give a damn about no fucking ROH. Did you get was there anything said from ROH about you doing that to one of their titles?
No, should they have?
I mean, you're disrespecting one of their titles, basically. No one said nothing.
Hey, who got disrespected first?
Yeah, fair game, tit for tat. So you've got one of the best entrance songs in New Japan going, you know, G.o.D firing squad by No Name Tim. Were you heavily involved in making that? Was that like, you know, something you what went into the process? Did that end up exactly how you liked?
Yeah, you know, a few tweaks here and there. I just told him the vibe that we're going for, and gave him a few tracks of the music that I listen to that I get my vibe from. I said, you know, conjure me up something like this. And he did it, and we tweaked a few things, and I had, you know, my brother's input on some of it, and the tweaking with the end product came out beautiful.
All right, man. One final question that we like to ask everybody. So we are Wrestle Inn, you know, INN like a pub. So if you had a table at Wrestle Inn, what food would you be eating? What drink would you be drinking? And what two wrestlers would you bring along for company?
If I was in the UK, man, I'd have me some fish and chips. Get me some tartar sauce on the side, whatever that sauce that you guys use with that. Put some vinegar on that son bitch. Order me a nice pint of beer, whatever beer they're serving over there at the inn. Have me hikuleo. I'll have me all the brothers, the good brothers in the Bullet Club. Not the other good brothers. Forget those guys. Nah. Bring in maybe a few young boys who we think might be able to come into Bullet Club. Very few. And then we drink up, man. That's it.
Sounds like a party, man. Awesome. Right. You can follow Tama on Twitter at Tama_Tonga and Instagram at the good bad guy Tama Tonga. Also, make sure to subscribe to the Tama's Island podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. It's must listen every week. You can follow us, Wrestle Inn, on Twitter at Wrestle Inn. Tama, thank you so much for joining me. So generous with your time. Still can't believe this has happened.
Thank you very much for having me, man.
All right, that wraps up another drink at the end. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.